Timothy McVeigh was executed for the bombing of the federal building in Oklahoma City 20 years ago this weekend. 168 people, including 19 children, were killed. It was the deadliest act of homegrown terror in U.S. history.
Don't know what happened, just a blast.
The scenes are unforgettable.
We gotta find his brother.
The cratered federal building, the facade blown off. First responders desperately trying to save the lives of children pulled from the building's daycare center.
Can you tell me your name?
The Denny children, 2-year-old Rebecca and her 3-year-old brother Brandon, were among 6 children pulled from the rubble alive.
It's got all their birthday pictures in it, and all of their pictures with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. We've accepted it. We know there's nothing we can do to change it, so we're just trying to make the best of every day. And I don't know if there is a normal, but we're at peace now.
Chilling words from Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh.
I felt absolute rage. With Oklahoma City being a counterattack, I was only fighting by the rules of engagement that were introduced by the aggressor. Waco started this war. Hopefully Oklahoma would end it.
Hey guys, it's Lavender here. Welcome back to my channel. It's Lavender here, and today I'm back with another true crime video. Today I'm going to be doing the Oklahoma City bombing with Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols. So let's get started into the story. So just a brief overview of this true crime story. The Oklahoma City bombing was a domestic terrorist truck bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, United States on April 19, 1995. It was perpetrated by American terrorists Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nicholson. The bombing happened at 9:02 a.m. and killed at least 168 people, including many children, injured more than 680 others, and destroyed more than 1/3 of the building, which had to be demolished. McVeigh and Nichols purchased or stole the materials they needed to make the bomb and stored them in a rental shed. On August 1994, McVeigh obtained materials from gun collector Roger E. Moore. On September 30, 1994, Nichols brought 40 50-pound bags of ammonium nitrate fertilizer. They expressed anger at the federal government's handling of the 1992 Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI standoff with Randy Weaver at Ruby Ridge, as well as the Waco siege, a 1993 51-day standoff between the FBI and branch division numbers that began with a botched Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms attempt to execute a search warrant. Timothy McVeigh later decided to bomb a federal building as a response to the raids and to the protests, which he believed to be U.S. government's attempts and efforts to restrict gun rights of private citizens, in particular those under the Second Amendment, aka the Gun Amendment. Timothy McVeigh planned to construct a bomb containing more than 5,000 pounds of ammonia nitrate fertilizer mixed with about 1,200 pounds of liquid methane and 350 pounds of Torvex, including the weight of 16 55 U.S. gallon drums in which the explosive mixture was to be packed and made in. The bomb would have had a combined weight of 7,000 pounds. McVeigh originally intended to use rocket fuel, but it was too expensive for him to buy. McVeigh posed as a motorcycle racer and attempted to purchase a 55 U.S. gallon of drums of nitrovene in the pretext that he and some fellow bikers needed the fuel for racing. but there were no nitro-powered motorcycles at the meeting. Sales representative Tim Chambers sold him 3 barrels, though. McVeigh rented a storage space on April 14, 1995. McVeigh paid for a motel room in the Dreamland Motel in Junction City, Kansas. The next day, he rented a 1993 Ford F700 truck. On April 16, 1995, he and Nichols drove to Oklahoma City, where he parked a getaway car, a yellow 1977 Mercury Marcellus, on April 16. Several blocks from the Mariah Federal Building. McVeigh and Nicholas removed the supplies from their storage unit and loaded them into the Ryder rental truck. They then drove to Gary Lake State Park, where they nailed boards onto the floor of the truck to hold the 13 barrels in place and mix the chemicals together. Each barrel filled weighed nearly 500 pounds. McVeigh's original plan had been to detonate the bomb at 11 a.m., but the dawn on April 19, 1995, he decided to destroy the building at 9 a.m. As he drove towards the Mariah Federal Building in the Ryder truck, McVeigh carried with him pages from the Turner Diaries, which he got his plot from. McVeigh entered Oklahoma City at 8:50 a.m. McVeigh lit the 5-minute fuse. 3 minutes later, still a block away from the site he needed to go to, he lit the 2-minute fuse. He parked the Ryder truck right in front of the north side of the building, and he exited the truck and locked the truck and headed towards his getaway vehicle at 9:02 a.m. The Ryder truck, containing over 4,800 pounds of explosives, detonated in front of the north side of the building, killing 168 people. The effects of the blast were equivalent to over 5,000 pounds of TNT. An estimated 646 people were inside the building when the bomb exploded. By the end of the day, 14 adults and 6 children were confirmed dead and over 100 injured. The victims range in age from 3 months to 73 years in age and include 3 pregnant women. 19 of the victims had been babies and children, many at the daycare center. At the time of the bombing, there were 100 daycare centers in the United States and 7,900 federal buildings. McVeigh later stated that he was unaware that the daycare center of the building, he had no idea it was there, apparently, when choosing the building as a target. Nearby civilians who have also witnessed or heard the blast arrived to assist all the victims and emergency workers at the scene. Treatment and transportation of the injured was to be done as quickly as possible. Supplies and personnel to handle a large number of patients who needed immediately. The dead needed to be moved to a temporary morgue until they could be transferred to a coroner's office within the first hour. 50 people were rescued from the Mariah Federal Building. 1 nurse was killed in the rescue attempt after she was hit in the head by some debris, and 26 other rescuers were hospitalized because of the various injuries. McVeigh later response to the range of casualties was, "I didn't define the rules of engagement in this conflict. The rules are not written down. They are defined by the aggressor." He later stated, "I wanted the government to hurt like the people of Waco and Ruby Ridge had." So he just basically wanted to get revenge on the government. McVeigh was arrested within 90 minutes of the explosion because he was driving his 1977 yellow Mercury Marxus without license plate, and he also had a concealed weapon. And the state trooper arrested him. Federal agents were able to link the truck to a specific Ryder rental agency in Junction City, Kansas, and from there, the whole plot collapsed on top of itself. On April 21st, 1995, Terry Nichols learned that he was being hunted, and a warrant is out for his arrest, and he turned himself in. McVeigh's trial began on April 24, 1997. McVeigh said he developed a hatred for the government during his time in the Army. After reading the Turner Diaries, the jury deliberated for only 23 hours, and on June 2nd, 1997, McVeigh was found guilty on 11 counts of murder and conspiracy, and he was sentenced to death, even though his lawyers tried to give him a life sentence, but it didn't work. He got the death penalty. And Terry Nichols was sentenced on June 4, 1998 to life without parole. And yeah, so if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye guys, see you next video.